Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Citizen at 1. It is Monday, the 2nd of December 2013, and my name is Michelle Morgan. Now, 4 people were hacked to death while 2 others sustained serious injuries after a gang attacked a petrol station along the eastern bypass in Nairobi's Utawala area. The 2 a.m. incident saw the gang attack security guards and staff of the service station that is situated opposite the General Service Unit Training School. Police cordoned off the area, beginning investigations into what they are treating as a robbery. They then moved the injured to hospitals while the dead were moved to the city mortuary. Police are urging those with information that could lead to the arrest of those involved in the attack to forward the information to the nearest police station.
Waizi wamefamia Astrol, hata ijamaliza miezi miwili ndio inaanza sasa. Sasa wakazi tumekuwa na uoga mwingi kwamba watu wanaingilia hapa na ni karibu na hata Chesio hapa. Kuna EP hapa karibu. Sasa hii maneno imetushangaza sana sisi kama wakazi na tumesema pole kwa wenye mafuta hapa.
Hii barabara kuna watu wanaleta watoto huko usiku, wanaenda shule kama saa 11:30, na kama security hakuna, sisi tutakuwa watu wa kuogopa, na ni wamama na wasichana wakazi wale wanaleta hao watoto hapa ndio waende shule mapema, na kama hakuna security mambo itakuwa inatushinda kabisa.
2 directors of the Nairobi Fig Tree Hotel have been charged with embezzling 48 million shillings belonging to the hotel. The 2 suspects, Lucy Waithira Mwangi and John Irungu Githinji, were accused of stealing the money through an Equity Bank branch account belonging to the hotel. The duo appeared before the magistrate Dolphin Okundi at Milimani Courts earlier today. The accused denied the charges and will remain in police remand for the next 2 days in order to allow the police to carry out more investigations.
Reddington Limited, Hotel Limited, that he will for the first Lucy Waithira Mwangi.
Now, tension remains high in the Kainuk area of Turkana County following Saturday's bus attack. The tension remains high even as the victims of the bus attack continue to recuperate in various hospitals in the area. The victims, some of whom are admitted into the Lodwar General Hospital, sustained gunshot wounds from the militiamen who laid ambush on the bus that was transporting passengers to Kainuk. Transport remains paralyzed, with the bus operators having halted transport services from Mirich to Kainuk due to the numbers of roadblocks mounted by the militia. Now, former President Mwai Kibaki has today given his first public lecture at the University of Nairobi since he retired as president. His lecture, which was part of the Kenya at 50 celebrations, focused on achievements of the country that the country has made in the last 50 years. The former president said that Kenya should learn from its past failures in order for it to move forward. Now, Abdi Osman attended the lecture and now joins us live. The details on what the former president said. Good afternoon, Abdi Osman. Can you give us a recap of the highlights of what the former president Mwai Kibaki touched on in his first public lecture since retirement?
Well, Michelle Morgan, as you can see here at the University of Nairobi outside Taifa Hall, it would be hard to tell that one of the most epoch-making public lectures has indeed been completed. Retired President Mwai Kibaki having addressed a joint gathering here of students, members of the academy and members of the public. They got the gemstones and nuggets from Kenya's walk from the days of the colonial yokes, from a man who was born in 1931, who had seen it all from the days as a child in Othaya in Nyeri County, all the way to ascending to power, having also been a member of the academy as a lecturer in Makerere University. But what a few hours it's been, Michelle Morgan, the former retired president, actually making very clear what he feels are his observations that should be shared with Kenyans as we mark these 50 years of independence. He made it very clear that at one point Kenya was at par with the likes of Singapore and Malaysia, but along the way, as we tiptoed to reality, there were critical mistakes which need to be corrected. The president pointing out the genesis of the land problem, how people organize themselves into land buying circles and got themselves land which they shared, saying very clearly from the days President Jomo Kenyatta, the late, had told Kenyans that there was nothing for free, how that culture of diligence has seen the country rise. But he also took a low blow on the years of a monolithic system of government, the one-party state, making very clear that Kenyans must protect the hard-won freedoms. For a man who was in the opposition trenches as the official leader of the opposition for many years and had been a leader of an opposition party for 20 years from 1992 to 2002, then he should know very well just what that means. He said that under those years Kenya did take some steps back and lost the momentum it had when it was shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Malaysia. The retired president also revisiting the issue of Majimbo, devolution in its infancy after independence, saying because it was in the colonialist interest to keep Kenya sort of divided and as a sort of blackmail to the incoming African administration, it failed, but saying it's still too early to judge devolution. Later on, there was a question and answer session where Winnie Mutula, one of the lecturers here at the University of Nairobi, did ask that question, what's your take on devolution? And like many other people who had asked their questions in a Q&A, and the moderator kept prodding him on, vintage Kibaki it was, as the president steered clear of answering that. So those who thought they were going to beat the Abdi Osman in asking the retired president a question they asked today, but like in the past, with the exception of one media briefing I do remember as president where he talked on his family, he did not answer those questions because the outgoing chancellor said he dealt on it. So Michelle, in summary, a comprehensive speech gives every single step of Kenya's infancy, the weak administration that had come in, the change of guard from the colonialists, the lessons to be learnt economically, and marching on in a future he says is full of promise given the infrastructure. But as Jeff Koinange, was the moderator, said, he did not take credence for what people see as the highlights. For what he was praised, free primary and secondary education for day scholars, and also the issue of a great infrastructure projects like the Thika Highway. So it was a vintage Kibaki performance. For what was exactly there, we'll give you that in a detailed report in our subsequent bulletins.
Thank you very much. That was Abdi Osman reporting from the University of Nairobi. On with other stories, and leaders from Samburu County held several peace meetings over the weekend in Baragoi and Samburu North in a bid to foster peace among the warring communities of Turkana and Samburu. Led by Samburu Governor Moses Leonard Kulal, the leaders urged the two communities to set aside their animosity for the sake of development. They called on both communities to embrace negotiation and compromise as a means of dispute resolution. The leaders also called on the government to start a disarmament campaign among the communities to reduce cases of insecurity.
Lazima tupate amani, na itafika mwisho. Mimi niko na hakika tutaweka wakora kando, wapenda amani kando, ili tupate kuishi.
Now on Monday Special tonight, Hussein Mohammed and Janet Mbugua will be discussing a growing concern in Kenya, the mystery of missing persons, those who have disappeared without trace. Well, do you know somebody who has vanished or somebody who's disappeared and yet to be seen or heard from. You can share these details with us, the details of the missing person, their name, the age, the date that they went missing, and the circumstances of disappearance. Please remember to send us a picture if you have a picture of the missing person as well through WhatsApp to the following mobile number lines. That's 0701 515151. That's Airtel, or 0737 700004. You can also share this information through our Twitter handle @CitizenTVNews or on our Facebook page, Citizen News. Remember, it's about people who have gone missing without a trace. It is not, we repeat, it is not about those who have been kidnapped and ransoms demanded for their release. So that's what we've got coming up on Monday Special tonight. We're going to take a short break, but we will be back with more news, including business and sports. So don't go too far.